So it's a big loss to us. And Professor K.C. Periappa, who was the president, was very closely associated, a good friend of his. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming all the way.
In public.
Thank you. Sorry.
This mic, welcome.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Close
So
it.
once again, everybody. Tom, you can all hear me?
Yeah.
For today's program, as you all know, the topic of today's program is Craft Your Own Wellness. Quite an attractive title itself. And I'm sure it's going to interest everybody because she talks mainly about holistic approach to life as far as food is concerned and other habits, exercises, etc. So to begin with, I would say that her philosophy, her ideology has been that she blends principles of sound nutrition, yoga, and natural hygiene, popularly known as nature care, to ensure that her clients fulfill their health and fitness goals and achieve vibrant health. A very, very celebratory and salutary purpose. Dr. Gauri Rukam is a highly qualified person in her field. She has PhD degree in yoga and life sciences. She has MSc in food and nutrition and has been a university topper in Bangalore University. She is a certified nature cure therapist and member, International Institute of Maha Yoga and Natural Hygiene, USA. She is a
read that. So as she rightly introduced me, I'm a holistic nutritionist and a whole food plant-based nutritionist. There are three words here: holistic, whole food and plant-based. Whole food. As I said, food should be whole. What does whole use? All the nutrients, all 7 will be there. But of course in different combinations, different quantities. So in sugarcane, all the 7 is present. But when the man very intelligently converts that sugarcane into table sugar, all the 6 are lost. And there is only one nutrient called carbohydrate in its simplest form. That's why table sugar becomes toxic. As the name suggests, it is based on the plant products only. Why so? 30 years back when I was studying, we were taught animal protein is superior protein. I understand we are, pressed for time. So you organizers, you tell me wherever you want me to stop, I can stop. Because all the topics I've picked up are disconnected. They are not connected with each other. So tell me whenever you feel and I can stop. Okay? Thank you just to do this job. So whatever your interests are and whatever.
I think all those who have come are really interested.
Yes,
you
yes,
don't mind if a little longer.
Choose these two philosophies only because both the philosophies talk about health. They don't deal with disease. Basic principle is that every organism is capable of self-repair, self-maintenance and self-rejuvenation. How do we know if we are healthy? Usually we are instructed to go to a pathology lab and get the body and blood work done. If any of the parameters do not match the magical range suggested, we are prescribed treatment, medication and supplements. Consider this. How can we sleep when so much work is sitting on our tables and heads? Youngsters have so much to do and elders have so much to worry about. Constant stress and mental chatter do not allow people to relax enough to fall asleep. Sleep is a critical part of our lives. Repair and rejuvenation hormones are released during sleep that bring the body back to normalcy every single. Inadequate and is precursor to many health challenges. Without enough sleep, the brain nor the body can function optimally. If you can't fall asleep easily, have sound sleep through the night, and wake up refreshed, it means you are not healthy, right? Similarly, another 5 parameters are listed and has been discussed in the book. Now that we know that eating and living is so important, let me define food from the perspective of nature cure and yoga included. Food is not just what is on the plate, it encapsulates everything that our body needs and thrive. In our plates today, all over the world for that matter, is one nutrient called fiber. Nobody places importance on this nutrient called fiber. And this fiber deficiency is what is pushing us to this stage. This fiber can reverse diseases. I repeat, fiber can reverse diseases. And you can see a lot of testimonies given by my clients in the book recorded. Okay, so fiber plays a very, very important role, and let me talk about fiber. Fiber is the magical nutrient, and it should be left intact in every food and be an integral part of every meal. Unrefined and unprocessed plant products. They do not provide calories as they do not contain starch. It is present in the outermost covering of every plant food like grains, legumes, nuts, fruits, vegetables, and green leafy vegetables. Interestingly, the maximum amount of that food's micronutrient concentration, to the extent of 60 to 70%, is present just under this outermost layer. Fiber and obesity now. Fiber offers a multitude of health advantages. The public think increasing insulin is the best way of handling blood sugar, but it has many unnecessary effects, because increasing insulin is not a great idea at all. Because wherever, one of the questions people ask is about how can I keep my bones strong and healthy all my life. It's all varieties of green leafy vegetables, dry fruits like dates, figs, raisins, prunes, and plums. That is one part, eating the right kind of food to give us enough calcium. But in addition to that, that is of no use if we don't have the other conditions. What are the other conditions? In addition, exposure to sunlight is very important to get vitamin D. Why is vitamin D important? Because it helps the body to absorb calcium. If you eat, it's not enough, it should be absorbed properly. Bones, resistance exercise is necessary. Get some good physical activity daily. But this was the whole idea of writing this book, because it's standing different. And because of putting these 3 food philosophies, major philosophies of the world, so there wasn't anything, and that's why I had to write this book. Anyway, going to the next, protein, which is so very the most essential nutrients the body requires, but excess protein consumption can be extremely harmful. Whatever is consumed over and above, okay, let me just explain it, can be extremely harmful. Whatever is consumed over and above what is required to top up the amino acid pool is broken down to produce energy. Not because I have a weak, time. Keys took in a lot of research data and proved that saturated fats are bad for heart. Full of saturated fat, to the extent of 92% coconut fats are saturated. That is why coconuts were also included into the harmful category. But the fact is, the fats present in coconut is very, very small. The molecular structure, the structure of the fats in coconut, it is called medium chain fats. The medium chain fats are so small that they don't enter into systemic circulation. What is systemic circulation? The blood which reaches high. This concept better, let's take the example of coconuts. Through my comprehensive research on coconuts during my doctoral studies, I have unearthed lesser known yet authentic insights about them. Contrary to the popular belief, my findings were surprising and divergent from conventional views on coconut. Until recently, it was believed that coconuts were not conducive to heart health as they are saturated fats. However, Even though coconut oil is around 92% saturated fat, most of it comprises medium chain fats which are metabolized differently inside the body. As natural as they are to garnish your foods. And the body. It talks about 3 gunas, the 3 personality types of the mind called sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva represents purity and knowledge. The base, for those of you who are following me, represents action and passion, while tamas represents inertia and ignorance. Finally talks about is given in 2 verses, right? So let me go finally to notoriously known, nutritionists to quantify your food. How big should be the chapati, or no need to pay heed to external voices. Turn inwards and listen to the body's signals instead. Page number 169. The quantity of food required fluctuates with each meal and is influenced by various factors including food density, richness, physical and mental exertion, environmental conditions, seasonal changes and emotional state of the person. Eat until you feel satiated. Reading this book, thanks for inviting me and it is exclusively present only in plants. Take any part of the plant, roots, stem, leaves, flowers, fruit, vegetable, grain, legume, nuts. Take every part of the plant. It will have fiber.
According to Ayurveda, you're not supposed to eat till your stomach is full. Eat half stomach.
Absolutely.
Leave quarter for
Space, water, and then space. Yeah.
air.
Our stomachs are like our mixers. If you fill the mixer to the brim and try to switch it on, it doesn't work, right? Nor does it job well. So in our stomach, if you can fill it half and then leave some space and add some liquid, which is always present in traditional Indian foods. Sambar, you have traditionally, you don't have to worry about liquid. Liquid doesn't mean per se water.
Deficient in protein. And I am taking drug to remove it.
So, as I said, even while speaking, insulin in the right amounts is what body needs.